Hello and welcome back to the Villa Filler podcast. It's been a long time coming, but I am here, as always, with my good friend Dan Wiseman. Dan, Aston Villa have finally confirmed the signing of Leon Bailey. It is done. How are you feeling, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. I'm not bad. It's one of those where it does feel. We were just talking a little bit on air about how because of the other news that's been going on, it's been a pretty tumultuous period for the club. I don't feel like enough respect has been put on the signing. I was saying just the other day. I mean, I think certainly in your I say in mine and your lifetimes. I mean, since we've come of age and started appreciating the Villa and the players that we sign, I can't really speak for anything sort of post about 2007, really,
Mm.
but. I can't remember a player that we've signed that has come in at this high standard. I think this is in terms of the ability that they hold at the point at which they enter the door. I don't think we've ever signed a better player than this.
No, I think you're right, mate. It's a really exciting one. And, at 23 years old, he's nowhere near the peak of his powers. We saw last season 9 goals, 14 assists across all comps, including the Europa League, which again is going to be an ambition of the club to sort of break into that bracket. That's where we're probably looking at for this upcoming season. And signing Bailey, it really is, I think we said this about Wendy, but it is a sort of statement of intent, regardless of what happens with Jack Grealish. I think, if we're looking at Leon Bailey with a sort of more realistic viewpoint, Dan, Bailey probably is, as it stands right now with everything that we're hearing, a Jack Grealish replacement. And I think when you look at the stats that we discussed in the previous video we did about Bailey, the transfer rumor mill episode, it all adds up to be almost, I don't want to say the perfect replacement, but you're looking at a player who spends a lot of time camping in the opposition half. He's constantly receiving those progressive passes. He's known for his directness. He's running at players, dribbling past players. And, again, these are all qualities that Jack Grealish possesses. So at the moment, not to scaremonger or anything, but just with what we're seeing online, with what journalists are saying, it kind of does feel like Jack is going, which, of course, is just gutting. It's heartbreaking. However, Leon Bailey, I feel like he's maybe been done a bit of a disservice, Dan, with how the sort of news has been buried. I know sort of PR 101, you kind of bury the bad news usually, but this is kind of good news. Of course, I've just said he's kind of a Grealish replacement, but a signing's a signing, and especially as you said, Dan, Bailey's nowhere near the peak of his powers, yet he still possesses tremendous ability, and I have no doubt he's going to go on to become one of the sort of better wingers in world football. And again, it's good to see that we're sort of, with him being Jamaican, again, Villa looking to raise their profile potentially in other areas of the world. We've gone for Egypt, we've gone for Brazil, we've gone for Japan with the women's team. And now we're trying to get some Jamaican Villa fans on the go, which is absolutely great because I think we've had a handful over the years. I think Lewis Graben is the most recent one, but I can't see too many Jamaicans being as enthralled about that one. A championship player. We're talking about Leon Bailey here. A fantastic talent. And I feel like we should be getting excited about this, Dan. It's just a shame with how other situations are kind of affecting it.
Oh, for sure. And look, I mean, I get why the Villa announced it when they did. I think you're right. They were trying to stop that tide and, get people talking about something that other than Jack, just raise the mood in the fan base. And look, I mean, I'm not saying it didn't do that. I just think that you're right in saying that. I don't think enough Villa fans have probably sat down and just actually thought about how good of this signing is, because Leon Bailey is a very exciting player. And I need to caveat this with, I still don't think, I know we were just talking about, he's got this ceiling. I still don't think he's even playing as well as he possibly can. I still think for Leverkusen, there's still a lot more that, not in terms of how he can improve in terms of the next 5 or 6 years, but in just terms of his current skill set, I still think that there's more that can offer. And I think he'll step up to the Premier League and really prove a point, because this is a transfer for him that's been coming for a long time. He spent 4.5 years in Leverkusen, fully aware the whole time that it was at best a stepping stone club. That was never a transfer where he was going to move to Leverkusen and call it quits. That was going to be him for the career. That, there was always going to be a next step. Probably, let's face it, another 2 or 3 after this. This guy's going to go to the moon. But coming in at, well, he's 23, but let's call him 24 because at the time of recording, it's his birthday a week today, I believe. So coming in at 24 years old, he offers so much directness and a pace that we don't have on the wing. And so you're right in saying that he probably is, in terms of the position that he plays, a replacement for Jack, but they are two very contrasting players. You know, that they have very different, similar styles. Leon is much more of a live wire. He brings the pace, a similar kind of ability in terms of their dribbling and their willingness to take on players, I suppose. But I think Leon is a lot more skillful with it than Jack. You know, Jack is just all about the his natural assets, isn't it? Really, the way that he's able to shift his body in that low center of gravity. But with Leon, he's going to bring a real flair, a lot more trickery when he beats a man. You know, you see those compilations; it's full of your roulettes and stepovers and the trivellas and all this really exciting stuff that I don't think our wingers can offer. So he brings us a lot, but also at good value as well. You know, we've seen a lot of links to the likes of Cantwell and Sarr, around 30 million, who are championship players. And it proves my point. And this is why it infuriates me when you go and see Arsenal dropping 50 million on Ben White. No disrespect to Ben White, I think he's a good player, but United go and pick up Varane for 35 million. And it infuriates me that the clubs don't go and shop on the continent with more confidence, because at 30 million pounds, mate, when you're looking at the same price for a Todd Cantwell, there's a no-brainer there, surely.
Yeah, and I think, Cantwell does. He's your pound shop Grealish. He does sometimes operate on that left-hand side. A fantastic assist as well. I don't know if you saw it, Dan, yesterday from pre-season game. Kind of collects the ball in the middle of the park, sprays it wide, makes a run into the box, receives the ball, and he ends up doing 2 or 3 sort of keepy-ups and an overhead kick assist. If you guys haven't seen it, I really do recommend you check it out on Norwich's Twitter. It's an absolutely wonderful assist. But yeah, I think that there is a lot to be said. I think the fee, as you said, Dan, is something that we definitely can't scoff at. £30 million for this guy is absolutely crazy. You know, look at what £30 million, the best part of £30 million got you with Ollie Watkins. £30 million now, realistically, isn't a lot of money. And it seems crazy to be actually saying that. But again, as you said, you've got to kind of look for these bargains. You've got to, Villa are clearly operating in an enhanced market with the option to, hopefully keep Jack happy. I think we're seeing loads of people camping out at this strangely open pre-season training camp. Given everything that's going on, is a really bizarre decision. Is something I really can't get my head around whatsoever. But we're seeing, plenty of public conversations between Jack and Langer, Jack and Dean, which, signing these kind of players, that's going to potentially turn his head. That's going to potentially make him, want to stay. I do fear, there have been links to Cantwell, Dan. We've done a TRM episode on him a few weeks back now. So, we don't really need to talk too much about Todd Cantwell, but I do fear if Cantwell sort of goes ahead, especially if we don't really hear anything about Grealish, that's probably him gone. But, I guess it's kind of a sort of a good problem to have when you're looking at how Villa are potentially going to line up, because, Bailey has played a lot of time on the right. He is a left winger as well. He can play anywhere really across the front line, as we've kind of discussed in the previous episode. He can play that sort of auxiliary forward position, which, again, is going to be useful, especially with Big Keenan's injury. Villa looking to offload Wes as well. But, lining up, I mean, the thought of Buendia, Grealish and Bailey is absolutely marvellous. But again, how do you kind of make that work? Who goes where? I don't know, maybe it's a good thing that Grealish leaves. don't take that seriously, guys. But yeah, it's a really exciting transfer, Dan. And I've got a feeling that he's in Miami at the moment, isn't he? So he definitely won't be able to play come Saturday. But it'd be great if we got some sort of halftime announcement while we're at the Sevilla game. See him, maybe get him involved off the bench for Watford. It's just I feel like we're both a bit sort of down. I think everyone's down at the moment, Dan, just with the news. But I can assure you, Dan and I are probably two of the most gassed people when it comes to Leon Bailey. We cannot wait to see this man light it up at Villa Park, can we, Dan?
No, you're absolutely right, mate. And look, I'm not going to sit here and talk much about the Grealish situation. We have a video where we touched on it, where we both made our feelings very clear. What a great video it was, by the way, mate. I think I need to give you a public shout out for that one. It was wicked. It's good to see that it's got the love that it deserved. But I mean, thanks, on the Jack situation, man, like we have a situation whereby I have total faith in this squad. I think even without Jack, there's so much quality there that I'm excited to see this season. I'm really excited to see who shoulders that responsibility, who's going to be the player that says, okay, we've lost him, but I'm going to step up and take the reins. We've got a tremendous amount of money now, which I think I have full confidence in the club spending wisely and shrewdly, and getting in players that are really going to excite this fan base. It's a period where, look, I always thought Jack was going to stay. This is so unlike him, but it's a situation now where the club is so much bigger than the player. Jack Grealish was Aston Villa for a long time, but now he's up to move on. This club will roll on, and with a fantastic squad and a brilliant manager and a wonderful setup with kids coming through that can offer exactly the same storyline that Jack has done. You want local lads that have supported the Villa all their life coming through the ranks and playing for the club. There's 4 or 5 of them waiting in the wings, ready to come and pick up that narrative. And so, look, whilst one leaves, there are many waiting to come and fill those shoes, many waiting that we've signed. I mean, you want a replacement for Jack Grealish? We have him. Emi Buendia is as like for like as I think you're going to get in the English game. There's players when you add like Leon Bailey, we've been linked with Tammy and Axel coming back. And so there's so much to love about this club that's so much exciting. I still think even without Jack, there's a top 10 squad there in terms of quality. I think it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period in terms of the way that we go forward. I think we saw him when we were injured, just that we so naturally gravitate towards that left wing where Jack is and where that creativity and the hub of all that is good about Villa has been for so long. But take him out of there, we can have a little reshuffle, rethink how that forward line works, give Ali some help up front, maybe another 10 in. I'd really like to see a sort of statuous defensive midfielder come in. We can really invest this money well, make the squad better as a whole, and make Grealish or not, I'm still so excited for this campaign.
Absolutely. Sevilla coming up, then we've got Watford away. Absolutely gassed for that. I think at this point we've just got to be excited to just go and watch the Villa, go and watch football. Things are hopefully getting back to normal just in the world. It's not good, man. The Grealish side. It's not good. It's not good for anyone's health. Everyone's screen time on their phones has skyrocketed over the past 2 weeks. I can imagine. I saw a tweet from Justin from Up the Villa podcast. I think his screen time yesterday was like 15 hours, which is mad. But that's just what the Grealish saga is doing to people. But guys, I know it's difficult, but yeah, I think we need to be excited for the season, and there is plenty to be excited about. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if you are excited about Leon Bailey, then please do leave a like and comment your thoughts below on this signing. How excited are you to see this guy play? Hopefully, I think it's probably more realistic we see him sort of second half Watford, but I can't wait, man. See him running at that Championship defence. He is going to absolutely eat it up. But I say, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more. Up the Villa.